Alright, so this is M177 and the problem it has is error 54.2. To fix this problem, I'm going to take out the cover on the right hand side of the printer. So I'm going to turn this printer this way, out this way, then I will remove the screw here. This is out. So this is where we are going to be working on. See, this is what causes that error. If this is not aligned properly, it is going to give you that error 54.2. So I'm going to show you what to do. So I'm going to take out Right, this is it. And so to remove this, after removing this screw, to remove this, you have to get a flat screwdriver to compress this end. When you compress this end, it will come out of the hook here. This is supposed to be hooked somewhere here. So after removing this screw here, you have to get a flat screwdriver, then press this down, then pull it out. Now this is where the problem is. You see the teeth of this gear, there is a particular set of teeth of this gear that is missing. Okay, you can see the teeth is complete in the other area when I read it, but there is a particular part where the teeth is missing. So that place where the teeth is missing is where you are going to align to to this gear. Ensure that it is properly aligned to this gear and it is hooked inside. So once you align it properly to the gear and hook it inside, that problem will be solved. And if for your own case you discover that this gear is broken for one reason or the other, you have to replace this gear or this unit, you can check in the comment section. I have, in case you want to order for this, I have it. But if yours is not broken yet, all you need to do is just to align these parts, this particular part of the gear. You align this part of the gear so that it aligns with this other white gear inside. You see this? Alright, so this is the gear that I'm talking about. This gear here, this part of the gear that is missing, you can see all the other parts of this gear when you spin it is complete, but there is a particular gear that is missing. That one that is missing itself is where you're going to ensure that it's properly aligned to this gear. You have to align inside, so when it spins, it will align with each other. If this is not properly aligned, it's going to come off with this error, because this is like, this gear is actually, it acts like a counter here. There is a sensor here that counts it. So another thing you need to check out for is this sensor here. Once this sensor is dirty, even when this counts, it won't be able to dictate the part of the gear that is missing. You see this part of the gear that is missing. You see this area is missing. So when it spins and it gets to that part that is missing, it will not be able to dictate this missing part, because the the sensor itself is blocked with dirt. So he assumed that there is no missing part. So he keeps on spinning over and over again, trying to locate this missing part of the gear. And when it doesn't locate this missing part of the gear, what will happen is that it is going to come up with that error. So what I'm going to do right now is to clean this sensor area, ensure that there is no dirt blocking the sensor, so that when this spins, the sensor will be able to dictate where it's dirty or not. Otherwise, what you have to do is just to ensure that this particular teeth is aligned to this gear, because sometimes what happens is that this gear is going to pull out from this other gear and they will be misaligned. They are supposed to be aligned together. If this pulls out from this and this teeth is not aligned to this gear, so that once this gear spins, it's supposed to spin with this one, and once it spins with this one will be able to, the sensor here will be able to read this particular part that is missing. Okay, you can see that every other part here is complete, but this particular part is not complete. So once it spins, to see the part that is complete, and when it gets to that part that is not complete, the circle is complete, and then you can print normally. But once it didn't dictate this for one reason or the other, either because this gear, teeth of this gear is not aligned to this other white gear, or this sensor itself here is dirty, something is blocking it, either dust, debris, piece of paper, or toner, powder toner is blocking this, it won't be able to dictate this missing part of this gear. So what I'm going to do is to clean this gear and then ensure that this is properly aligned to the white gear. To clean this, what we will do is to get a piece of cloth like this, white cloth. Do not use tissue paper. The reason why you shouldn't use tissue paper is that tissue paper has a tendency to leave particles, and this particle can block this sensor area. Once it blocks that place, it will think that it has not gotten to where this empty part is. Okay, and once it thinks that there is no empty part, it's going to come up with that error. So do not use tissue paper. Tissue paper has a tendency to leave pieces and debris on the surface, and we don't want that. We want to ensure that there is no debris and there is no dust on the surface of this. So I'm going to get the flat screwdriver like this, and then just push it in and clean this way. And clean. I'm going to do the same thing. You can see the debris and dust there. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to clean. Alright, so I'm going to clean this too. Right, so after cleaning that, then I'm going to align this in. Out for, you see this area, this flat end has to go into this end. Has to go into this end. You see this other circular part has to go into this circular part. This end here has to go into this area. Has to go into this area, while this end will go into this side. So once I put it in, I'm going to ensure that the three areas aligns with each other. Otherwise, it won't go in. So let me repeat this again. You see this area has to go into this area. You see this other flat end will go into this end. This other circular end will go into this hole, while this end will go into this area, while this other end will go into this hole. So ensure you're not missing any part. So let's put it in again.